Hello students. So in the previous lecture we have discussed about some problems of JEE mains and advanced of this chapter, limits and continuity. In most of the problems while solving we must remember some basic formulas of limits and continuity also we have learned, correct? So generally when can you say one function is continuous? So first of all function must be defined at that limit. After that, so left hand limit equals to right hand limit for that function. At the same time, limiting value of the function must be equals to function value of that given function. Okay, so these all things we have learnt and discussed and applied in solving most of the problems in this chapter for mains and advanced. Okay, so now, so in the previous lecture we have discussed some problems of mains and advanced from this chapter, limits and continuity. Okay, so what we observed in solving most of the questions in this chapter, we must have knowledge about concept of different types of functions. So trigonometric functions formulae and concept of greatest integer function, fractional part of function and modulus function, absolute function, okay, and signum function. So like that we must have a proper knowledge about different types of functions and their domains and ranges also, because trigonometric functions also will be related or connected to most of the chapters in mathematics in solving many problems. Okay, so when you go for competitive exams, correct? So now in this lecture today our lecture is going to start with a simple basic problem. Okay, simple, just to solve this problem we must remember two formulas. What are those? Generally, limit x tends to 0, limit x tends to 0, sin x by x equals to 1, correct? That we know. If you have sin 2x by 2x, 1. Similarly, sin square x by x square, 1. Sin cube x by x cube, that result also will gives you 1. Clear? And one more formula also we have discussed, so which we need to remember to solve this problem. Limit x tends to 0, 1 minus cos x by x square equals to 1 by 2. Simple. Just we should recall these two formulas to solve this problem. Okay? Shall we solve this? Right. Now, so limit x tends to 0. Now, always we need to have term or function in terms of sign only. If you have tan cot, should convert that tan or cot into terms of sin and cos. Okay, so how can write tan as sin by cos? Clear? So now sin x by cos x minus sin x by sin cube x. So clear? Now, so here limit x tends to 0. Now let me take sin x common there. If I take sin x common, right? So here 1 minus this cos x LCM there. Cos x multiplied to that 1 minus cos x. So by cos x, that cos x will be multiplied to the denominator. Okay, that we know. Cos x into sin cube x. Now sin x, sin cube x get cancelled. So what do we have here? Sin square x, right? So now limit x tends to 0. 1 minus cos x, let me write first. 1 minus cos x. So for 1 minus cos x, what do you need to have in the denominator? As we know from the formula, x square. So we don't have x square here. Multiply and divide by x square. So here divide by x square. Now here multiplying by x square. And this sin square x I am going to write here. And this cos x I am writing separately. That's it. So when you are able to differentiate or separate the terms based on different formulae, so this will be easy. Okay. Now 1 minus cos x by x square. What is the result here? 1 by 2. And what is the result for sin x by x? 1. Sin square x by x square? 1. Reverse also, reciprocal also, that gives you 1 if you apply limit. So that result also 1. Okay. Now whenever we have cos x, then directly we can substitute the limit, as we don't have any formula in separate cos x in limits. So when you substitute 0, cos 0, 1. Okay. So finally, what will be the answer? 1 by 2. Clear? So hope you have understood. Right? It's very easy. It's a basic problem in this limits. Okay? Just have a look at that. Make a note of it. Now, so let us go for next question in this. If g of x equals to limit m tends to infinity x power m into f of x plus h of x plus 3 by 2 into x power m plus 4x plus 1 x not equals to 1. Okay, so this is the given function. Okay, function was starting with m tends to infinity, limit m tends to infinity. So function only is given it as starting with the limit. Okay, so that is g of x, right? Now, and g of 1 is given e cube, e power 3. Okay, such that f of x, g of x, h of x all are continuous function. So that is combination of continuous functions only. Okay, so these are continuous at x equal to 1. Okay, so at x equal to 1 means functional value was given it as e cube for g, and limiting value, so that function was given it as this. Okay, so limit also must be equals to that function value. Okay, means LHL RHL also must be equal there, because it was given it as continuous at x equal to 1. So finally we are going to find the value of this. Clear? So first of all, before going to solve this, we have to discuss one concept. See here, limit x tends to infinity e power x plus 1 by e power x plus 2. Okay, it's a basic problem in this limits. See here, limit x tends to infinity e power x plus 1 by e power x plus 2. Okay, so now tell me, can I substitute the limit directly here? No. If I substitute limit there, e power infinity, again e power infinity only, infinity plus 1 by infinity plus 2, meaningless. Correct? So whenever we have e power infinity, that gives you infinity. So value should not be infinity, value must be a finite value. That's why, so 1 by e power x we need to have, so that if I have e power x down, so then if I take e power x common, 1 plus 1 by e power x, correct? Now similarly, again e power x common, 1 plus 2 by e power x. Okay, so both can be cancelled now. So here is this e power minus x, so e power minus infinity will be 0. Okay, so always we need to have x term in the denominator, not in the numerator. Okay, so x term should be in the denominator only, then only 1 by infinity, that gives you 0. Okay, so you need to have e power minus x always, not e power x. So if you have e power x term, that must be written down. Okay, that's why e power x I took common. Now finally, so limit x tends to infinity, whenever x tends to infinity, 1 by x tends to 0, or e power minus x also we can write. Okay, so always remember, e power infinity is infinity and e power minus infinity value 0. So these two are very important things which we need to remember. So now what is the value here? 1 plus 0 by 1 plus 0. Okay, so by knowing that result, directly we will be able to answer this limit. Correct? So what is the answer here? 1. Clear? So it's very easy. So by this, what can understand, whenever x tends to infinity given, okay, so that x term must be written down, then only 1 by infinity, that gives you 0. Clear? So we should not have infinity plus something by infinity minus something like that. Okay, so we should not get result in terms of infinity change. Correct? So that is the concept we need to understand, and these two values also we need to remember here. E power infinity value infinity, e power minus infinity value 0. Clear? So now let me substitute that. See here, so let me find out g of, so it was continuous at x equal to 1, so I can write g of 1 minus means, so limit x tends to 1 minus, so limit x tends to infinity, now x power m f of x plus h of x plus 3 by 2 into x power m plus 4x plus 1. Okay, so now we can write limit inside. Okay, so now here limit x tends to infinity, whenever x tends to infinity, and limit also 1 minus. So 1 minus means it is in 0 point change, correct? 1 minus means 0 point change. So whenever x value is 0 point change, 0 point change whole power m. Okay, 0 point change. For example, 0.5 means what can I write? 1 by 2. So 1 by 2 power m. So x power m term. See here m tends to infinity given. Okay. So here m tends to infinity given. This is m tends to infinity. So for writing m as infinity, m term must be down. For that, if you substitute 1 minus means 0 point something, 0.07, 7 by 10, correct or not? So then that m term comes down. So that will be 0, right? So anyway, here I am writing as it is x power m f of x plus h of x plus 3 by 2 into x power m plus 4x plus 1. Okay, observe here. So whenever 0 point something power m, okay, so that m term comes down obviously, okay, because 0.9, for example 0.5, 0.5 means 1 by 10, so 1 by 10 power m, 1 by 10 power m, so that m term is coming down, not a problem. So that will become 0 whenever x term down. So this will become 0, this will become 0. Okay, now what will be left here? Now substitute x value as 1 as it is. So h of 1 plus 3 by, this will become 0, correct? And 4 into 1, 4 plus 1, 5. 4 into 1 plus 1. So this term will become 0 because x value is 0 point change, 0 point change whole power m. So 1 by something power m. So that m term is coming down, that will become 0. Okay, so that is the thing. Now similarly, let me find g of 1 plus. So that is RHL. Limit extends to 1 plus. Okay, now here directly let me write. So limit m tends to infinity outside, right? So limit extends to 1 plus. 1 plus means 1 change power m. Okay, so 1 change power m means, so that number power infinity. So we are getting m on the power only. We are getting m on the numerator only. Now we are not getting something power m down, because 1 plus means, for example 1.5. 1.5 power m. M value infinity. 1.5 power infinity. Infinity only will get. But we should not get infinity on the numerator. That's why this x power m we should take it down. So take x power m common. Correct? So if I take x power m common, what will you get? F of x plus h of x, okay, plus 3. Okay, so here x power m common if you take, so by x power m, right? So here also x power m common, 2 plus 4x plus 1 by x power m. Okay, now if you observe, this term will become 0 because whenever m tends to infinity, something by infinity it will be 0. This term also will be 0. So finally substitute 1 there. So what will you get? F of 1 by 2. See here, I am substituting limit as 1, f of 1 by 2. This will become 0, this will become 0. Correct? So whenever it is more than 1, so we should take something common, take x power m term should be down. Okay? Whenever below 1, 0 point change, so then that term will become 0 directly. Okay? So now here both must be equal. This is LHL, that is RHL. Equate both. That's it. So h of 1 plus 3 by 5 equals to f of 1 by 2. Now cross multiply there. So 2 times of h of 1 plus 6 equals to 5 times of f of 1. Now this value we are going to find out. So what is the answer for this? Now it's very easy to 5 into f of 1 minus 2 into h of 1 equals to 6. So this is the required answer. Okay. So what is the correct option here? Option B. Clear? So this thing but understand, this is very important. Whenever we substitute 1 below means 0 point change. So 0 point change whole power m means, for example, 0.5 whole power m. So 1 by 2, 1 by 2 whole power m. So 1 by 2 power m. 1 by 2 power, 1 by something only will get. So that m term comes down. So something by m term, something by infinity, that will be 0 directly. Whenever you substitute 1 below value, directly that will become 0. Whenever you substitute 1 above value, okay, that will become infinity only. That's why that infinity term should take it down. That's why we should take it common and make it down. Okay, right? So x power m common here. So under this x power m will come, under this also x power m will come. So something by infinity now, something by infinity. These two terms will become 0 and the remaining term will substitute our limit. What is our limit? 1. So finally we will get. So f of 1 by 2. So this LHS, that RHL must be equal because it was given as continuous already. Okay. So whenever function is continuous, both can be equated. Now we can get the value of required expression. Clear? So hope you have understood. Clear? Make a note of it. Now, see here. So before going to discuss some problems based on greatest integer function and fractional part function. So to solve many problems in different chapters for competitive, so we must have some knowledge about fractional part function and greatest integer function. Greatest integer function can also be written as step. Okay, can also be called as step function. Okay, so why this greatest integer function is also known as step function? Because its graph will be like this. Okay, steps, right? And as we know, greatest integer function is not continuous. Okay, so that is discontinuous at all integers. Okay, so now that we'll see. Generally, what is the nature of greatest integer function? That we'll see now. See here, every integer can be written as sum of two parts. Correct? Every real number can be written as sum of two parts. What is that? Integral part and decimal part or fractional part. Correct? So fractional part function can be denoted by this. Greatest integer function can be denoted by this. Okay, step x. So box x, right? So that is greatest integer function. Okay, for example, 2. How can I write 2? 2 plus 0. Correct? Now similarly, for example, 2.5. How can I write 2.5? 2.5 equals to 2 is integral part here and 0.5 is the decimal part. Correct? So here 2 is step function. Greatest integer of 2.5 is 2. Okay? And remaining fractional part 0.5. Correct? So now similarly minus 2.5. How can I write minus 2.5? So minus 3 plus 0.5. Fractional part function always must be positive. Correct? See here, minus 3. Okay, minus 2.5 stepper. So minus 3. Correct? So like that we can write. Every real number can be written as sum of two parts. One is integral part and one is decimal part. Okay? So now let us see nature of this. See here, step of minus 2. Step of any integer gives integer only, that integer only, negative or positive. Okay, step of 3, correct? Step of any integer, that integer only. Now step of any decimal value, for example step of 2.5, 2, left least integer, result is left least. Okay, so now step of minus 3.2. Okay, so what is the least integer left side of it. Okay, so greatest integer less than or equal that value. Okay, so greatest integer function less than or equal that value. So it's to its left side. What is least integer? What is first integer? To its left side, -4. Okay, so that is the answer. See here. So here 0, -1, -2, -3. So here you are correct. So -3 point change. So left least integer will write. Okay. Similarly, step of 7.5, 7. Similarly, step of -2.5, -2 change. So left least integer -3. Step of -2.5, -3. Like that we can write. Okay. So this is the generally nature of greatest integer function. Greatest integer function of any decimal value gives you integer only. Okay, so greatest integer of integer only. Greatest integer of decimal value, so left least integer will get. Means you may substitute any value. Okay, means any real number you may substitute in step function or greatest integer function, GIF. Okay, so domain is what? R, real number set. And what is range? Any integer. So result is set of integers. Integer means Z. Okay, so these two things you have to remember for greatest integer function. So whenever you write greatest integer function like this, okay, so every real number can be written as step x plus fractional part of x. So from this, what about fractional part of x? So that's step you have to remember. Okay, so fractional part of x equals to x minus that real number minus step of that function. Okay, so now tell me, we have discussed about greatest integer function till now. Okay, so here graph also we can observe for greatest integer function. See 0 point something values, result is 0, 0.1, 0, 0, 0 only. The second 1, 1. Okay, 1 point something, again 1. 1.2, 1 only. 1 point till 1.99, 1 only. 2, again it goes to 2. Okay, so circle means it is not included. So dot means that is included there. Clear? So now 3 only. 3 change. So it will be 3 only. Correct? So like this, that graph breaks for every integer. Okay? So graph of greatest integer function breaks for every integer. Means it is discontinuous for every integer. That you have to understand. Okay, that is the knowledge of this greatest integer function information. Okay, so now after that, fractional part function. Fractional part we can write like this. Okay, Achha, what happens to fractional part? So what values we can substitute and what will be the results? Okay, that also we'll see. Now if I substitute 2 there, so fractional part of 2 equals to 2 minus step of 2. Okay, I am substituting in this formula. 2 minus step of 2. Step of 2 is 2. Step of integer is integer only. So 0. Correct? Means if I substitute integer, we are getting 0. Achha, let me substitute one more integer. Okay, so now if I substitute, for example, fractional part of -5. So what can I write? See, -5 minus step of -5. So -5. What is step of -5? -5 only. Step of any integer is itself. So minus minus plus 5. 0. That means fractional part of any integer, negative or positive, result is 0. Result is 0. Achha, let me substitute fractional values. Okay, let me substitute decimal values. For example, fractional part of 2.5. Okay, let us see. So 2.5 minus step of 2.5. So 2.5 minus step of 2.5 is 2. See, right? So what do we get now? 0.5. Correct? Now similarly, let me substitute step of, fractional part of minus 3.5. See, let me substitute in this. Minus 3.5 minus 3.5 step. So minus 3.5 minus, what is step of minus 3.5? For minus 3.5 left least integer minus 4. So minus 4 I can write. Means minus 3.5 plus 4. What will you get? 0.5. That means you are getting 0 point change values for decimal values. If you substitute integers, we got 0. If you substitute decimal values, we got values in 0 point change. Correct? Will you get 1 anywhere? No. So that means, what is the domain and range of this fractional part function? Domain is any real value. Anywhere we can substitute. Decimal, negative, positive, integers, anything. What is range? Values from 0 or more than 0. 0 to 1 open, not including 1. So this is the range of fractional part function. Okay. So from 0 below 1. Okay. So this is very important. And what is the domain and range of greatest integer function? So domain is real number set and range is integers. Step of any decimal value also integer. Step of any integer, integer only. Step of any decimal value also integer only. So result is integer set. Range is integer set Z. Domain is real number set. This is for step function, greatest integer function. And for fractional part function, for this, domain is any real number set R. Range is 0 to 1 open interval. From 0 below 1. Clear? Till 0.99 also we can. But not 1. We are not getting result as 1 anywhere. As we check just. Clear? Just make a note of that. Right? We'll be going to solve most of the problems on these fractional part and greatest integer function concepts. Okay, so for that you must know the nature of greatest integer function, results for different numbers for these two functions, and their domain and ranges also. Clear? Just have a look at that. Now, so let us look at this question. The number of points of discontinuity of this function. Okay, so function was already declared it as discontinuous because we are going to deal with step function or greatest integer function. Means this function also going to give us a step function or a greatest integer function only. That is the reason it was already declared it as discontinuous. Okay, at which point of x this function is discontinuous. Okay, so that number of points we are going to find out. Clear? So now, first of all, here we have greatest integer function 2x whole square minus fractional part 2x whole square. Okay, so now what is the formula for fractional part? Let us recall from the previous concept. Fractional part of x equals to x minus step x. Okay, so this is the formula that we know. Okay, same thing will apply there. Okay, so what was given? F of x equals to step of 2x whole square minus, in place of step of 2x, what can I write? Step of 2x minus step of 2x whole square. Correct? Just fractional part of 2x minus step of 2x. I substitute there, whole square as it is I wrote. Now a minus b whole square here. Okay, so step of 2x whole square. Now a minus b whole square, a square 4x square plus b square. So minus is there, minus b square. Now I am taking minus inside. Okay, so now minus step of 2x whole square. Correct? Actually minus 2ab, but minus is there, plus 2ab. So plus 2 into ab, 2 to the 4x. 4x into step of 2x. Okay, so now both can be cancelled here. So finally what would you get? Minus 4x square plus 4x into step of 2x. Okay, so as we know that step of 2x is discontinuous at integers. Okay, that we know. Okay, so since step of 2x is discontinuous, I'm writing the reason there, discontinuous at integers, correct? So that we know, right? Now what was given? X belongs to minus 2 comma 2. Okay, means not including minus 2 or 2. Okay, after minus 2 what can take decimal values there? So x equals to minus 1.5 minus 3 by 2, so minus 1. Okay, right? So what are the values I can take? Decimal and integers also. Minus 3 by 2 means minus 1.5, minus 1.5 minus 1, so after that minus 1. Next, so 0 there, minus 1 by 2 minus 0.5, so 0, so 1 by 2 1. Okay, now 1.5 means 3 by 2, correct? Right. So for all these values this is discontinuous only. Okay, but here if you substitute 0 there, we'll get 0, right? F of 0 equals 0. So f of 0 equals 0 at x equals 0, it is continuous only, correct? So if you substitute anyway, LHS and RH will be equal at x equals 0. Okay, if you eliminate this, so what is the remaining number of points there where function is discontinuous? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. At these 6 values function will be discontinuous only. LHL will definitely differ with RHL, correct? Right. Now, so which option is correct there? Option B. So number of points, how many points? At 6 points function will be discontinuous. Clear? Hope you understood. Make a note of it. Now, so let us look at this question. F of x equals to minus 3 plus modulus x for minus infinity to 1. Okay. Now a plus modulus of 2 minus x for 1 to infinity. From 1 to infinity. Okay. So 1 is including here. So here 1 is not including. Now what about the second function g of x given? 2 minus of modulus of minus x. So within modulus everything will become positive, right? If you substitute any negative or positive, this will become positive one, right? Anyway, minus infinity less than x less than 2. Minus infinity to till 2. This is the first function for g, and from 2 till infinity. So this is the second function given for g. What is signum function here? Signum function gives you 1 for all positive integers. Okay, if you substitute, all positive integers will get result as 1. If you substitute 0, result as 0. If you substitute all negative integers, result is minus 1. Just keep in your mind. Okay, so anyway I am not going to write that separately. Just you have to remember the nature of sin x, signum function, signum of x. Okay, right? So what is the meaning of that? Signum of x gives you set of only 3 values, minus 1, 0, 1. If you substitute negative integers, will get minus 1. If you substitute 0, 0. If you substitute positive integers, will get plus 1. Clear? Just keep in your mind. Now what is h of x given? H of x is sum of these two functions given. Now we are going to combine these two functions. So did you combine any time in solving a problem in limits and continuity? So here we are going to combine these two functions to form another function. So that is given it as a discontinuous already at exactly 1 point. Okay, at 1 point. So at exactly one of these points. Okay, so then which of the following is not possible there? Okay, so anyway, So here, which of the following will not satisfy this? Okay, so now we'll see. First of all, let us add these two. Now you tell me, based on which intervals will go for adding these? See, observe, minus infinity to 1, one function, 1 to infinity another function. Here minus infinity 2 till 2, here till 1, here till 2, after that 2 to infinity. So can I divide these 4 functions, sir, 4 functions into 3 intervals? What are those? Minus infinity to 1, 1 to 2, correct? And third one, 2 to infinity. Okay, minus infinity to 1, okay, and 1 to 2, and 2 to infinity. Like that I am going to sum up these. Okay, see here, I am going to sum up, so that I am going to get h of x. See here, now h of x equals to, now first of all let me write minus infinity to 1, minus infinity to 1. Okay, so minus infinity to 1 means minus infinity to 1, this function can be clubbed with this function also. Somewhat minus infinity to 1, we have some part in this also, correct? Now tell me, first of all look at this, minus infinity to 1, minus infinity to 1 means somewhat negative values also will be, right? So here negative value if you substitute there, okay, so minus infinity to 1, okay, so what will you get? We'll see now. So minus infinity to 1, so from there what will you get? So minus 3, okay, plus 2. Okay, I am going to sum up these two. Minus infinity to 1, minus 3 plus 2, anyway minus 1. And so modulus of any negative value, positive only. So modulus of x become modulus of x only. Here, if I substitute any negative value, that also will be positive only, same. Okay, whatever value we substitute there. Okay, for example, if you substitute 2 there, sorry, minus infinity to 1, if I substitute minus 1, modulus of minus 1, 1. Here also modulus of minus 1, minus of minus 1, 1. Okay, so minus 1 plus 1 cancel. Okay, so these two can be cancelled if I add these two. I am going to add these two. I am going to add these two. Anyway, these two will be cancelled by substituting any value in between these. Hope you can understand. By substituting any value between minus infinity to 1 in these two functions, these two can be cancelled or not. Finally, what is the result? That's what I am going to write. So minus 3 plus 2. So minus 1. Clear? So now, next interval 1 to 2. So 1 to 2. So 1 to 2, from 1 below 2. Okay. So 1 to 2, somewhat here also 1 to 2 can be in this also. Correct? So now let me add these. Okay. So now 1 to 2, 1 to 2 if I add, so 1 to 2 value if you substitute, for example 1 point change. If I substitute 1 point change, is it positive or negative? If I substitute 1 point change in this in place of x, is it positive or negative? Positive. If it is positive, what do you write? 2 minus x. Plus of 2 minus x. For example, if it is negative, what do you write? Minus of 2 minus x. That you know. Okay. So this is positive only for 1 point change values. So I can write a plus 2 minus x. Okay. And I am going to add that with this. Here also if I substitute 1 change. Okay. So what can you get? So modulus of this. Okay. So 2 minus x. Correct or not? So modulus of anything positive only. So plus x only. Here x can be anything. Within modulus this will be positive or not. So 2 minus x. So plus 2 minus x. Okay. Let me simplify afterwards. Now, what is last interval? 2 to infinity. So 2 to infinity let me. Okay. So 2 to infinity means somewhat 2 to infinity, 2 change. So 2 change value suppose. 2 to infinity comes under this also. Okay. So this part and this part I'm going to add. See, 2 change means positive value or negative value? Positive. So signum function gives you 1 for positive value. Okay. Anyway, so I'm writing that 1 here. Okay. Now, so here minus b. So I'm going to write minus b as it is. Okay. Now here, what about this? A. Okay. A. Okay. So now, if you substitute 2 change, if you substitute 2 minus 2 change, so 2 change, 2 minus 2 change negative. So whenever this modulus function negative, what can I write? Minus of 2 minus x. Minus of 2 minus x means reverse. Can I write x minus 2? Yes. X minus 2. So that means, so these two can be simplified finally. See, I'm going to write finally. Now minus 1 for minus infinity less than x less than 1. Now, second, here 2 plus 2, 4. A plus 4 minus 2x for 1 less than or equal to x less than 2. Similarly, 2 to infinity. What can I write? See, minus 2 plus 1, minus 1 there. So, a minus b plus x minus 1. Clear? So, this is final function for h of x. This is final function for h of x. Now, you tell me, so at where you are going to check continuous or not generally? See, 1 below, 1 above. At x equal to 1, we can check whether it is continuous or not. After that, at x equal to 2 also we can check whether it is continuous or not. See, 2 below, 2 above. Okay, let me substitute minus 3, 0 suppose. A value minus 3, B value 0. So, A value minus 3. So, minus 3 plus 4. 1. So, 1 minus, where I am going to check first? At x equal to 1 suppose. At x equal to 1 means these two I can take. Okay. So, minus 1 LHR anyway. So, here if you substitute 1 minus 2. So, 4 minus 2, 2, 2 minus 3, minus 1. I am substituting, I am using this. So, minus 1 correct? So, it is continuous? Yes. Now, these two let me check. Means, at x equal to 2 I am going to check. For this first option, I am going to check whether it is continuous or not at x equal to this one, this one. At x equal to 2 means first of all substitute 2. 2 to the 4. Minus 4 plus 4 cancel. Then what is a value? Minus 3. Keep in mind minus 3. LHL for 2 minus 3. RHL put 2 first. 2 minus 1. 1. 1 and a minus b. Minus 3 minus 0. So minus 3. Here minus 3 plus 1. So what can you get? So a minus 3 there. So minus 3 plus 1 here. 2 minus 1 1. Minus 3. Minus 3 plus 1 minus 2. So it is not continuous. Okay. So now already not continuous. So which of the following points are correct here? Okay. So for most of the points it is continuous only. So which of these it is discontinuous? Especially at x a equals to minus 3, b equals to 1. If you check a equal to minus 3. See here a equal to minus 3. Minus 3 plus 4, 1. So 1 minus 2 into 1, 1 minus 2, minus 1, minus 1, minus 1, correct. Correct. So it is continuous. Now, after that here also, for x equal to 2 also we will check for fourth option. Now, minus 3 plus 4, 1. 1 minus 2 into 2, at x equal to 2 you are going to check. Put 2 there, 2 to the 4. 1 minus 4, minus 3. Keep in mind, minus 3. Now, here also, minus 3, minus 1, minus 4, minus 4, minus 1, minus 5, minus 5 plus 2, so minus 3. Okay, at fourth option only it is continuous in both the cases. Whole function is continuous only at fourth option. Okay, right? So here, but here given discontinuous. Okay, so which of the following is not possible there? Option D. For all these functions discontinuous only except fourth option. At fourth option only this function is continuous at x equal to 1, continuous at x equal to 2 also. That you can understand. Okay. So hope you have understood. Make a note of it. Now, let us look at this question. Let f of x be a continuous function f from r tends to r, satisfying f of 0 equals to 1. So, functional value of that at x equal to 0 is 1, and f of 2x minus f of x equal to x. So, here we are not given function directly. So, we are not given f of x directly. We are given one condition which includes f of x. Okay, so we are given one condition including f of x, which includes f of x. Okay, equal to x. Then the value of f of 3. Generally, to find f of 3, you must have f of x, correct? So by having f of x, we can find f of 3. Clear? It's very easy. To find f of x, we have to solve this type of expressions. Okay, so by writing some number of expressions like this, we need to sum up, then we need to find the value of f of x. So from this directly I cannot find f of x. Okay, so we require the value of f of x only. So sometimes this type of problems can be solved by writing some more expressions in that form by replacing x by 2 or x by 4, like that. Okay, first of all let us take given condition. So since f of 0 equals to 1, that we know, f of 0 equals to 1, and what was given more, f of 2x minus f of x equals to x. Okay, observe now, how can I get f of x here? How can I get f of x? Here can I replace x by 2? Replace x by 2. Okay, so replacing x by 2. So replacing x by 2. Okay, so now what do you get? F of, so if you substitute x by 2, get 2 to get cancelled, f of x minus f of x by 2 equals to x by 2. I am going to replace x by 2. Okay, I got function like this. So let us replace x by 2 again. So f of x by 2, x by 2, x by 4. Here also x by 2, x by 4. Clear? So again let us replace x by 2. Okay. So x by 2, x by 4 minus x by 2 by 4, x by 8 equals to here also x by 8. So on. Correct? If you observe 2 power 0, 2 power 1, 2 power 1, 2 power 2, 2 power 3, 2 power 2, 2 power 3, so on, f of x by 2 power n minus 1, correct? Minus f of x by 2 power n equals to x by, so 2 power n. So whatever term here, same thing, 4, 4, 8, 8, 2 power n, 2 power n, correct? So let us sum up all these. Why we are going to add? If you sum up all these, all the expressions will be cancelled. All the middle terms in that whole expression will be cancelled. See here, minus f of x by 2 plus f of x by 2 can be cancelled. Minus f of x by 4 plus f of x by 4. So like that, this term, this term, this term, this term, like that all the middle terms will be cancelled. We are left with first term, that is required, f of x and last term minus f of x by 2 power n will be left. Okay, so that is the benefit here. Okay, so now let us add all these terms. All the middle terms will be cancelled. So what will be left? F of x minus f of x by 2 power n equals to, now sum up all these, x by 2 plus x by 4 plus x by 8 so on x by 2 power n. Okay, but what do you need here to find f of 3? We need f of x. So to get f of x and to eliminate this term, so what must be applied? Limit n tends to infinity. Whenever limit n tends to infinity, this term will be 0. Something by infinity, it will become 0. Correct? So that is a benefit. Okay. So apply limit n tends to infinity there. So limit n tends to infinity, f of x minus f of x by 2 power n. So right side also limit n tends to infinity, it will be sum of infinite terms. So what is the sum of infinite terms formula? This is in GP. Everywhere, what is the first number? X by 2. What is common ratio? 1 by 2. Correct? So in GP, here A is x by 2 and R is 1 by 2. Common ratio. Correct? So this is in GP or not? And when you apply limit n tends to infinity to the right hand side also, this will become sum of infinite terms. Sum of infinite term formula A by 1 minus R. Okay. So let us recall that formula A by 1 minus R. Okay. So here x by 2 by 1 minus 1 by 2. 1 minus 1 by 2, 1 by 2 to get cancelled. Finally we will get x here. Okay. So when I apply limit n tends to infinity, this will become 0. Okay. So finally what do we get? F of x. Okay. So f of x here, f of x limit x tends to infinity, so this will become 0, f of 0. Now finally what do we get here? So I am going to write here, right? Now, so here limit n tends to infinity, f of x will be f of x only. Okay, that is not terms of n. F of x will be remain same. Now here something by infinity, it will be 0. Correct? Equals to x. What is f of 0 value given? 1. Correct or not? Here f of 0 value 1 given. Correct? Now, so f of x equals to x plus 1. So finally f of 3, it will be 4. Clear? So which option will be correct here? Option C. Correct? So this is sum of infinite terms concept. Okay. So now limit n tends to infinity, f of x will be f of x only. There is no n term. But here something by infinity, it will be 0. F of 0. So here this will be x. F of 0 value 1 given in the question. Minus 1 comes here, x plus 1. Finally f of 3 value we need. F of 3, substitute 3 there, 3 plus 1, 4. Clear? So just recheck the question there. So what was given, what should be found out there. So we'll get the solution. So hope you have understood this. Make a note of it. Now let us see this question. So first of all, this question is more than one correct option. Okay, so more than one correct option is correct out of these 4 options. Okay, so now let us look at this question first. Given f of x equals to 3 minus cot inverse of 2x cube minus 3 by x square for x greater than 0. Okay, now second thing, fractional part, and one more thing. So this is step function. It was mentioned there. Okay, step of cot inverse of 2x cube minus 3 by x square. Okay, for x greater than 0. So that cot inverse term was included in step function. And second, this is greatest integer function of x square cos of e power 1 by x for x less than 0. Okay, then which of the following statement does not holds good? So which of the following statements are false in this given 4 options? Okay, so first of all let us find whether it is continuous or not. If it is continuous, where it is continuous, at x equals 0, is it removable continuity or removable discontinuity or irremovable discontinuity? For that we'll see. So irremovable discontinuity means LHL, RHL both should not be equal. Okay, whenever LHL is not equal to RHL, that is strictly discontinuous. Whatever case where function is LHL equal not equal to RHL and strictly discontinuous, that case is irremovable discontinuity we call. Otherwise, in case LHL, RHL both are equal but functional value not equal, okay, but somewhat we can manage, that is removable discontinuity we call. Okay, whenever it is strictly discontinuous, LHL not equal to RHL, then that is irremovable discontinuity we call. Whenever LHL, RHL both are equal, that is removable discontinuity. Clear? So like that we solved some problems previously on this removable discontinuity and irremovable discontinuity. Okay, so first of all let us find LHL, RHL. Okay, now so first let us find LHL. So what is LHL there? So limit extends to 0 minus, okay, now fractional part of x square cos of e power 1 by x. See here, generally cos of any function lies in between -1 to +1. Anyway, this lies in -1 to +1, so that we know. Okay, but what about this fractional part of x square? 0 minus here. 0 minus means, so what is the value for 0 minus? We can take 0 minus means, can I take minus 0.1? Minus 0.1 whole square. Okay, so what will we get? 0.01, right? So what is fractional part of 0.01? Fractional part of 0.01, so 0.01 minus step of 0.01, so again we'll get same, correct? So fractional part of anything for decimal value, so that gives you same value again, that means x square only, and in place of x if I substitute 0, 0, correct? So it's very easy. So especially fractional part of